Hey, good day, guys. Welcome to the channel of SA Accounting Network today. I was going to do something different. We got a request last month. Well, I put a thing out last month to say that maybe I should try and answer some of your guys' questions that you've got on YouTube. Some of your comments that you didn't. I'm going to give it an attempt and see how we can get, how we can do. So let me quickly just pop down to my comment section. I just want to close this, otherwise I'll hear myself speaking in the background. So let's have a look. I want to look at the comments. Yeah, we want to look at all the comments. So let's quickly see. I'm going to maybe start from the top and then I'll just work my way down. So Andrew Jordan asked the question, can you please make a video of how expats are taxed in South Africa, especially the exemption 10102, and how to apply foreign tax agreements on the individual IT12? Would be much appreciated. So I think, Andrew, that is a very good question. And I think, obviously, expat tax is quite a specialist type of a field to work with. I always say to my clients that I see myself as a GP, where I know a little bit about everything, but we don't specialize in any specific area. If you go to a doctor and you see something funny on your skin and you're not sure what it is, or he's not sure, then he's going to refer to a specialist, and that specialist is going to take good care of you. And you're not going to think that that doctor doesn't know what he's doing because he can't answer you on that question. So even with us as well at our practice, we've got very limited experience when it comes to expat tax. We know the theoretical side of it, but we don't work with it on a daily basis. So that's why normally with those type of things, we normally prefer to refer them to other people who actually specializes with it. We come across these types of cases maybe once or twice a year, where other guys work with it on a daily basis. So it's much better just to get the becomes involved with these type of things. But with that being said, you can go check out this guy's channel, Andre Potman. So he's done a lot of talks on expat tax. He's got a whole series over there. So let's quickly see where it is. There it is. They talk about the expat tax series. So you'll see over there, I think it's like a 3-part series where we talk through the whole process of exactly how to work with the expat tax in South Africa. Like I said, we can help you with the basics, but we prefer to, because it's quite a hot topic at the moment with SARS, we prefer to send them to other people. Let's see, Lati Malasela. Adi, thank you for this. I need clarity on one thing. If I'm the only director of my business and I want to register a representative, what should be the nomination letter or document that confirms my appointment so opposed to entail? Please assist. So that is on that video of updating SARS representatives. So I think for that letter, that is actually stupid because, if you, the only director, and the owner of the company, then that letter is just a document that basically you can just start it off by saying, dear SARS, I hereby confirm that I, El Malasela, appoint myself as representative of whatever PTY Limited, sign it, date it, and that is the letter that you would submit through to SARS. There's not a specific document as such that they want, or a specific template. That's basically what it would need to be. Let's quickly see. If I'm the director and I want to register as a representative, what should be the nomination letter? Yeah, so that is just going to be a document. If you're two guys, then obviously on that letter you would say that you hereby appoint Director B as the representative of the company. Both of you would have to sign, and then obviously date that letter as well. Peter Ternori, can you please touch on going from a sole to a company, which includes assets such as property and vehicles involved? Okay, so that is quite an interesting question as well, because if you're changing over from a sole proprietor over to a company, there's a couple of steps that needs to happen, and obviously if there's assets involved, there's a bit of a technical thing that needs to happen, because if you want to transfer those assets over to the name of the company, you've got to have sale agreements and stuff like that. So it can be done. Like I say, you would normally just in the company's books itself, you would debit the property, plant and equipment, let's say, for instance, and on the other side, you would credit somebody's loan account. So you're basically then selling those assets to the company on the loan, and then once the business has money, then it will start repaying those assets over there. And normally the biggest challenge that people normally have if they change from sole proprietors over to companies is to get everything registered in the name of the company. If you take, for example, there's something like a cell phone contract. If you sign a contract in your personal name, but you want to use that cell phone as a business expense, and in theory, you can't actually, because the cell phone doesn't belong to the company. So therefore, you would have to wait for your contract to expire. And then you would have to go to Vodacom, wherever it is, and then apply for a new contract in the name of the company itself before they would actually, in theory, be allowed to allow those telephone expenses as a deduction. And I think sometimes as well, especially if you're starting a company, there's sometimes the expenses you go to Vodacom, you register a brand new company, you say, okay, I want a cell phone contract in the name of the company, and quite often they won't give it to you because it's a brand new company. They say no, they want at least 3 months bank statement so they can see that you can afford it, and then only after that they will give you the contract. Yeah. So that is a very interesting question, and we do come across it quite often. Yeah, so that is basically what you would have to do. So take market-related values of those assets on today's date. If you've got, let's say, 10 vehicles, or you've got a factory or equipment and stuff, see what the market values of a similar asset in a similar condition, take that value, and then obviously you would basically invoice the company for the value of the assets, and then it will come onto the company with the loan account. So brilliant, thanks a lot. That was on the representative video. Heidi, let's quickly see stage 1, a video over there. I would like to know the following. We have franchise and some of our customers pay into the account, but the head office always wants invoices for certain fees and then only pays the difference. So this amount is not correct and not enough to allocate to my customers to show paid on their account. So I heard that I should do customer adjustment settings to offset the account. So how do I go about to do this step by step? Do I need to allocate the head office invoice as supply invoice and somewhere the show of the offset against my customer account? I hope my question makes sense. Heidi, I'm going to show quickly how to do it. It's not too difficult. What you need to do is if you, I just want to just pop into Sage quickly. I just want to show you something. If you go into Sage, I'm going to move myself out the way over here. Now I say login, and we just want to go to the demo company itself. And you've got, just move myself up there. So if you go to banking and you go to your transactions over here, and as for instance, you've got a deposit coming into your bank account. Let's for instance, this 50,000 Rand. If we say that was a customer and we choose a customer here, let's for instance, we choose this customer. I just want to see quickly if it's got something over there. You can see it's got a lot of invoices. So what you would do is if you go to this customer here, the best would be to split this transaction, you see. So to say that although you only paid 59,000 Rand, there's for instance, head office took 10,000 Rand. So you would say that you received 60,000 Rand. And then on the next line over here, you're going to say if there's an account for head office fees or whatever the fees are that they take, let's say for instance, we're going to say that they took maybe advertising cost. Then over there you say minus 10414. Just take the rate off because now the bet is messing it up. But that is how I would allocate that transaction. You see, so this is one part of the step that you would do. So you would say mountain goats, you pay 60,000, and the problem is that if you do it this way, you haven't got that fork to split the transaction up to a specific invoice. So once you save this transaction, you would have to go to transactions, allocate receipts, and then you take the 60,000 and allocate it to the invoice which it's supposed to be. And then this thing that is advertising minus 10,000 would then go last expense on your income statement. So that is basically how you would do that. Now, it's a bit of a tricky thing. It's something that we come across quite often, but that is the easiest way to do it. So even if, let's say, for instance, you work with something like debit orders, then you would do the same way. So if you get a debit order, let's say, for instance, for 50,000 Rand, there's 10 different clients that's paying, then over there you would say that this guy is paying 10,000 Rand. Here you would choose the next customer. So then you're going to say this guy, and he paid 10,000 Rand. And that is how you're going to change it up all the way down. And then on the last one, because you'll see with debit orders, they keep a normally feedback as well. So you're going to choose one that will say bank charges. Then you would put the difference, again, minus 500 Rand over there to show us the cost for collecting the debit orders. Cool. Heidi, hope that helped. If you have a problem with it, shout. We can always have a quick look for you. E-filing representative. Awesome, man, Timbile. Yo, this thing has been causing havoc. We've been betting with these e-filing representatives. Something that used to take 5 minutes now takes like 3 weeks to sort out. It's ridiculous. Helen, let's have a look. Tax returns 2021, home office expenses. Kindly share the link to the spreadsheet. Sasha's extremely unfair. We all agree with that. You work from home. Let's quickly see. Agree with you fully. So what you do is, if you go to my website, you go to SA Accounting Network. I just want to get to SA. Come on, I just want to get to the website itself. So if we go to our website, no, go away. Go to the website, come back. You go to the website, you go to the home page. Now what you'll do is, if you go to the bottom of there, it says Home Office Expenses Guide. So you'll see this is the video obviously, and then you can see that there's the spreadsheet, Home Office Expenses question there. If you click on that thing, it will download the spreadsheet for you. That is where you will find it. Cool. Good, Ellen. Alison, let's quickly see Home Office Expenses. Such a pity, the exclusivity rule. Yeah, it's so stupid. And I agree that it's the people that hasn't got a lot of money are really disadvantaged with this rule. It's really stupid. Let's quickly see income tax. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Satan entrepreneur. This helped a lot. I'm glad that it helped you. Good. I'm wanting to confirm submitting remissions of penalties for SARS. Yes, Charlene, that is a nightmare at the moment. The remission of penalties. What we found is you need to try to test around with a couple of computers, because we've got one computer at our office that can get it right, and we use Internet Explorer on that computer only, then we can get it submitted. Otherwise, it just doesn't want to go. Let's quickly see. Namibia, okay, there was some there. Income tax for companies, small business corporations. That's cool. Representatives, thank you for the information. Yeah, shucks to ball. That is a real problem, but good luck in the fight. Starting a business structures. I'm busy watching the videos. No. Trouble finding answers on Google. I want to register a PTY as a business, but a single direct and also the only employer, because it's my current way of earning income. I usually reinvest more than 50% of what I make to grow, and I've noticed that it makes more sense to invest money into advertising. Okay, I just started surpassing the taxable income amount, but as I said, more than 50% goes back to help grow what I do. My question is, what will be the acceptable form of proof for the reinvested amounts? And will the slips be sufficient, or will I need to more additional documentation to advertise from where I'm an advertiser I'm using? Also, just want to mention that I run a digital business where I generate income from digital sales. We put it in such terms. Yeah, so Project 5, that is a really cool question. So if you obviously have a company, let's say you're getting 10,000 Rand, you take out 5,000 Rand as your salary, other 5,000 Rand, you put it back into the business. So that 5,000 Rand, so all your advertising costs, your stuff for digital, for ads and all that type of stuff, you can put it through the business as valid expenses. I agree with you, it's the best way to spend your money is to reinvest it. And those things, you must just make sure that it is valid invoices. So you must keep all the invoices. You'll see that I did 2 videos, one on manual filing systems, one on electronic filing systems, where I talk quite a bit in detail about this. But it's just important that the invoices must be made out to the company. If it's invoices for amounts, it depends. You could buy a laptop for your business. If it's less than 7,000 Rand, SARS says we can expense it immediately. So you can take the full amount and use it the expense in the same year. Where if it's a smaller amount than that, then you know, if it's bigger than 7,000 Rand, you need to show that laptop as an asset, and then you can only write off the depreciation every year over a period of 3 years. So that's cool. I think you're definitely on the right track. Yeah, it's best to always invest back into your company. Can't pronounce your name, sorry, buddy. Let's quickly have a look over here. Income tax. I do have one question. If an individual has a tax number is now unemployed but does freelance work, for example, tutoring, okay, how does the tax work for him or her, since they have not a stipulated monthly income and are not technically employed? So what you need to do with a situation like that is you'll see that on your tax return itself, there's a section over there where you can tick a box to say that did you receive any other income? You would tick the box over there, and then you'll be able to open up a section where they say talk about trading income. So there's the place where you're going to declare that additional income. So the main thing is you must keep record of your income over there, because remember, Sasha's got access to your bank details. Not they can't see the actual transactions, but the banks send the report through to Sasha every 6 months to let them know how much money went through your account. So they know exactly. So if you're on your tax return, you say, no, you only got 50,000 Rand, start check on their side, they say, no, 200,000 Rand went through your account, then they're going to start asking questions why there's such a big difference. So you have to declare that income, and there is a place in a tax return where you can put those amounts in. So it's really, really important. You must declare that income. So if that amount then goes into the taxable income amount, then obviously you've got three choices. You can either not pay any tax, wait for your assessment to come, but there might be penalties and stuff. Second option, if you work for yourself, is provisional tax, where you pay tax every 6 months. Remember that yes, I think it's on the same video that I talked about that. And the third option would be if you had to do something like pay as you earn, which is also an option. I hope that answered your question. Beverly, if help, it will help if the phone was answered by UIF. Yeah, they expect the money, but no one tells. Pathetic service is difficult to register domestic. Wonder how difficult it will be to make a claim. Yeah, so Beverly longer. So I would say the best thing is if you phone the Department of Labor early in the morning, we find if you phone them like 8 o'clock, then they normally answer their phones. The rest of the day, it's virtually impossible to get through. We do have a lady that helps us with UIF issues. So if you want somebody that needs to help you sort that out, it's the lady that is in Mossel Bay, Tanya Bushman. So this good over here. If you contact her, she's our specialist when it comes to UIF stuff. And you'll see even over here as well, I've got this page for retrenchments over there. So you'll see here at the bottom as the details as well. So get in touch with her if all else fails. And obviously, she charges a fee to help you with UIF, but at least you know it gets done then. Thank you so much. That's cool. Thanks, Ben. Kenny Potter's house, church, Stellenbosch. Awesome, man. I really enjoyed these type of comments. One day. So income tax. What about sole proprietors with an online store using Shopify and using PayPal as payment gateway for the store selling to international customers only, US dollars, not South African customers? What would make you exempt from paying the sales tax? Now would you set aside a portion of your earnings to cover the taxes in February 2022? So remember, tax is they tax you on where you live. So for you, if you want to earn income that is not taxable in South Africa, you need to be out of South Africa. So if you're tax resident, if you're resident in South Africa, you have to declare your worldwide income over here. So it doesn't matter, even if you do drop shipping and you ship from China straight to America or to Europe, but you are based in South Africa, you still need to pay the tax this side, unfortunately. If you had to pay any taxes overseas, then you probably be able to get a tax credit this side in South Africa for the taxes you've paid there. Cool. Let's quickly UIF. How do I upload my UI 19 2.8 and got feedback? Says cancelled by postmaster. I think best is to phone the Department of Labor on that one. I can't answer you on that one. Or get in touch with the girl Andre Bushma, see if she can maybe help you. Representatives. Oh, deceased estate. Once again, Ferdi, this is a bit of a tough question. As I mentioned a bit earlier, deceased estate is also like a bit of a specialist type of a field when it comes to tax, because in theory they changed the rules a while ago. They say at the date of when somebody passes away, on that date, the original person ceases to be a taxpayer. Then they create a new taxpayer for the period until the estate is wound up. So you're gonna, on that date, this for instance the 1st of March this year, somebody passes away, 1st of March, in theory, everything is sold from that taxpayer to the deceased estate, to that taxpayer itself. For that period, all the income and the expenses will be managed by the executor. Now, once that is finalized, then that second tax number falls away. So that is in short how the process works, but it is quite a bit of a specialist thing. And obviously, most of the executors and stuff handle that process for you. I wouldn't suggest that it's something that you try on your own, because they always try and find loopholes and stuff that is not declared. UIF not working, Tamarin. Hey, welcome to our world. We are battle with those guys on a daily basis as well. Let's quickly see. Can you add sub-accounts to your customers? I did speak to you on this thing briefly on a video that I just released as well. But in theory, or in short, no, it can't be done. You have to invoice every separate branch individually. Cool. Customer details on an invoice. Okay, oh, 01. Cool. I'll have a look at that one. I'll get back to you. I'll show them 0 where it's done. But it's normally where you see your customers on that setup screen is where you would add their VAT numbers and stuff. The link to the spreadsheet, and I'll put it over there. You'll see it's a third button on the website itself. So if you had to go to the home page and you pop down to the bottom, home office expenses guides, and you can see over there is the link to the spreadsheet itself. Let's quickly see. Registered for income tax. What's the difference between a tax reference number and a tax number? That is exactly the same thing, Teresa. Yeah, same thing. Cool. Let's maybe look at one more. Somebody who's trading Forex. Companies versus sole proprietors. I've worked with both, and I think the company, I think, is the better option, because if you make lots of money, then you get taxed at a lower rate in a company than if you had to do it as an individual, because it depends if you make R1 million profit for the year. Remember, the company only pays 28% tax, the maximum company tax rate, where individuals, if you start earning above R1 million, or let's say 1.5 million, then you're going to start paying 45% tax, so which is quite a big jump. So I would personally go for a company on that one. Cool. Let's see what else is there. I'll throw one more. How do I record a customer refund? Okay, I think I did touch on this. Yeah, cool. I did the video yesterday. I actually uploaded it yesterday. One more. The videos on how to register company, sole proprietor business. Yeah, so I'll send you the link of register company. These guys do register a lot of companies, and it's the easiest. If you're not sure what you're doing, just get these guys, pay them a couple of bucks, and they've got your company registered for you in no time. And I think, I think I'm gonna just stop share over here quickly, and then thanks for your time. Hopefully I will be able to do another session like this. I'll probably do another one next month. So if you've got questions, pop it in the comments, and I will go through it and try and answer as much